Hello and welcome back to the LabNAS podcast. I am your host, Coit, joined as always by FPSD's Nuts and Wild Spartans.
Can you stop talking about dead memes?
No, because you can't stop saying gamers rise up. But today we're joined by a special guest, Alternate History Hub, otherwise known as Cody. How are you, man?
How are you, Alternate History Hub?
I'm good. I'm gonna change my channel name to that now. So,
History Hub. Let me clarify the spelling for you, just so you're clear.
just randomly typing it in the keyboard. That's my new channel name. Yeah, History Hub. I like it.
History Hub, like his tea, like a t-shirt. His tea. Spell the T, sis.
That's how the pronunciation goes now. Yeah, it's good to be here. I actually have listened to your guys' podcast for a while now, so it's cool to come on and not have to actually run a live stream or anything by myself and worry about it. That's your guys' problem right now. So.
It's weird to hear that you watch your stuff, because that's crazy.
I mean, it's I watch a lot of stuff. I mean, I basically spend my whole life on YouTube, so eventually you just you run into different content.
Same. That's why I don't have a life.
You just live and breathe it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't know, I remember like when I was 15, 16 watching your shit just randomly, and now here you are.
Oh man, that makes me feel so old. Thank you.
How do you think I feel?
Oh man, I mean, I don't know, it's... The weird thing is that I didn't think I would still be doing this when because I first made the channel. Well, do you think we should clarify for your viewers what my channel actually is, or?
Yeah. How about you go in depth a little bit for anybody who might not be familiar?
Yeah. So my channel basically is just about theories of history, like if certain events in history had changed. And I kind of make videos with little animations and stuff like that. I started branching out, talking more about just history in general or pop culture stuff, which honestly, the talking about pure history and the pop culture is a lot funner for me now. So it's, if you haven't seen that channel, go check it out, which I don't know why you're watching this if you don't know who I am, but now you do. Oh boy.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I have that whole thing memorized whenever somebody asks. Whenever somebody says, what do you do? It's like, oh, I do blank, and then I blank out for 20 seconds while I'm just saying it.
I do respect.
Yeah.
If people in public, like random people in public, are like, hey, what do you do for work? What do you tell them? Tell me you're a YouTuber?
I say I do educational content online. That's the best way I can say it, other than just YouTuber. Because if you say YouTuber, people just think like Ninja or like PewDiePie or like gaming.
See, I feel like if I say YouTuber, they'll just give me a bunch of fucking questions I just don't want to answer.
Yeah, they'll ask you, how do you get paid? So like, does Google send you stuff through like the mail? Like, how does that work? Like,
yeah,
it's the same like set of questions every time. So I just say I'm a video editor now.
I just say I'm a video editor too.
That's good. I should steal that. I'm gonna start doing that now.
It really works.
They're like, oh, how does your job work? Oh, people just pay me to edit stuff, and then like they don't ask anything further. It's great.
It depends on the generation that you're talking to. So if you're talking to like a Zoomer or something, they'll ask all those super specific questions, or they'll say like, do you know this YouTuber? Do you know this person, or something like that. But if you talk to anybody that's like over like 35, they kind of give you that skeptical look, like, you can make money off that? You don't have to. You don't have to pick yourself up on your
more
bootstraps.
questions though.
Or sometimes they think you work for TV because they're old.
Yeah,
If you say video editor is what I mean. Sorry.
I had someone say, "Who did you apply for to have your channel?" And I looked at them and I was thinking, you just sign up online. That's it. You don't have to. No bootstraps required. You can just go and start a channel. Wow. But yeah, it's certainly a generational thing, and
for sure.
I think it's. I still think that my fiance's parents don't truly get what I do. Like, they know YouTube is a thing, and everything, but I don't think it's kind of clicked. And it depends on who you ask. But yeah, I'm gonna take that film video editor. That's a good one.
Yeah, it really comes in handy.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, feel old now. Watch.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the existential crisis will go away eventually.
I make everyone feel old.
Yeah, nah.
Like literally, like anyone's like, "Oh, how old are you?" And like, I'm 19. They're like, "Damn, I feel old," and I'm like, "I'm fucking sorry."
It's like that was not my intention. I just wanted to say I look up to you. That's it.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, that's.
Well, thank you. Yeah. So I guess we just move on, and I haven't done a podcast in forever, so this is I'm trying to get back into the.
Well, we haven't had a guest on in forever, so expect us to butcher this.
Oh boy,
we're learning together, boys.
I'll be rusty together. Oh boy. Cool. So anyway, yeah.
See, Quite has all these damn questions.
On the topic,
them.
of ask. Well, I was about to if you didn't interrupt me, but on the topic of asking you about your job, what is your video / creative process like?
Oh man. Usually it is I come up with a random. I just am watching something or I'm reading something, and this idea just pops in my head. I think that's really is how for anybody. It's like you just come across something and you're like, wow, I'm gonna talk about that. And then you spend, I spend usually about 3 or 4 days writing the script. It depends on the video, but sometimes it requires tons of research, so I'll be juggling 3 or 4 projects while researching because it just takes so long. And then the editing, while I'm editing, I usually just get sick of the topic after 4 days of editing that video, and I'll have another idea that I really want to do, but then once I get that first video finished, I'm so burnt out, I'm like, oh, do I want to really move on to the next video? And it's just a constant cycle of feeding itself. And I guess that's kept my channel going this entire time. But that's the main... I feel like that's the same process, creative process for everybody. It's like your project just feeds into the next project, and it's just a continuing thing. Is that how it is for you guys, or what do you guys think?
Yeah, burnout can be a real thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, the idea thing I relate to a lot, because it's just like, you'll just be doing something, then randomly be like, oh, I could do that,
Yeah, it's almost a distraction, and it kind of makes it hard to fully commit, especially if projects are long, or videos are long, or anything like that. It makes it really hard to not just want to move on to the next thing. And you kind of have to tell yourself...
Yeah, I feel like the longer a project is, the more you want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like... most of us three we produce pretty regular content multiple times a week or once a week at least.
Yeah.
So but sometimes we've all done projects over the course of months, but even then when it's spread out across such a long time, you can be burnt out just because you're working on the same thing for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's fun to do that, create those super big projects that are really rewarding once you upload them. But in the middle of that, it's in the middle of no man's land, you question yourself and you think, is this even worth it? What I'm doing or anything like that?
Absolutely,
and, yeah. And the original idea just starts changing. And yeah, that's just it's just the business. It's how it sort of is.
Yeah.
But that's any creative, I guess they would say the same exact thing. But yeah, mostly, I've been starting to do smaller projects because I don't want to just do 20-minute videos that will be 1 video a month, and then you're basically burnt out for a week. But yep, that's my process, I guess.
So are the videos all you then, or do you hire editors or other people to help you with the workload, or is it still just you?
It's all me. I really should have probably hired an editor earlier, but I don't know. It's one of those weird things where I don't kind of trust anyone else to do these videos, or I'm really bad at communicating with other people with my vision and stuff like that. And I know I sound pretentious as hell saying vision, but it's basically just make sure this one cartoon guy isn't a funny pose or something like that. But I don't know, a lot of, especially with editing, a lot of stuff that's conveyed, it's really hard to tell another person to do and say, do this. Because I feel like that's almost what we kind of are as, people that make YouTube videos or anything like that. is it's the editing. That's the final product that people see. So I've never really trusted anyone else to edit. And I have friends and they hire editors and they do all that stuff, and you know, good for them because they are the ones writing scripts and dedicating so much time to that part of the video. But yeah, I just kind of do it all myself, and it kills my production schedule, but you know, it makes it genuine, I guess you could say. I don't know. I sound pretentious.
No, I've heard that kind of answer a lot. Like the editing process is like such a large part of like making a video for a lot of people. So like they're seldom want to let that go. Mm-hmm. So I understand that. Like it's like a common thing. Like it seems in a lot of YouTubers, like where maybe they'll hire editors, but they want to do like all the cuts, or they want to make sure that like certain things look exactly what they want. Like maybe the most they'll do is let somebody subtitle it.
Yeah, I pay a subtitler because like I did that shit for like a year and a half, and I just got to a point where I'm just like, I'm spending so much time on this shit. I could be doing other stuff while I'm like, you know, subtitling, because it's like it takes like 8 hours to subtitle a video.
Wow.
And the editing part is a lot different than subtitling. It's faster and it's more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. So I just started paying someone to do the subtitling because it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, like I edit all my main channel videos. Like those are like pretty much entirely me. Maybe I'll commission like assets from people, but I'll still edit those together. But like my second channel, like I have all of those videos edited by other people because like I don't know. That's more like of I can post whatever I want there. It's a little less like it needs to be refined and whatnot.
I'm too anal to let anybody else edit my stuff. I don't know. Like I get what you mean, where it's like you feel pretentious for saying that, but like, you have like a vision and you don't want somebody to just like, they do it, but like it ends up being not fully yours, and you feel like you miss out on some part of that. I don't know. I think that's part of like, because like I have like a lot of filmmaking experience, and like I was the cinematographer and I had to edit it. Like nobody else could edit it but me, because nobody else understood it quite like I did, because I'm behind a camera. And it was like, I had to let somebody else in because it was like a music video and a PSA. And these fucking people made it like so on the nose, like, man, guys, doing drugs is bad. It was just like, Jesus Christ, you didn't need to say that.
Yeah, and there's it really hurts when you have that sort of idea, because I did that too. I get entirely where you're coming from. I did do that for filmmaking stuff in college, and I worked at newspaper. Even doing stuff for a newspaper, it sucked too, because it's like you put all your effort into even like an article or a vision for something, and then somebody just comes in and they're just like, okay, we're gonna tweak it this way, and it's just like
adversely, it's like I've had like, there's like a friend of mine like edits second channel videos for me occasionally, but like there was one time where he just like completely outshined what I typically do, and like it's stuff like that makes me realize shit, like by also not editing, like in some ways I'm giving up chances to improve. But at the same time, it's like sometimes the content can be better for it. It just depends on what I'm making at times.
Oh yeah, if it's genuinely good edits, because my brother's a fantastic editor, and so it's like sometimes I would let him edit. Like a few years ago I did for some alternate history hub stuff, but eventually it just got to a point that it's like, I just need to improve myself with editing, and then you know, you just kind of learn, and the style changes and stuff like that. But the vision, that's I'm kind of rambling right now, but no, I think I like editing my own videos because it just feels like it's my own voice. So that's the main thing.
Now,
yeah, that's fair.
You were talking about like film stuff you did in college. I was really curious. Like, did you like study history in college, or like what did you do then? Like, how does one become so interested in history? Like, are you like formally trained in like school, or did you do something else?
Yeah, so I actually started really getting into history in high school, because we would have computers in school, and they blocked literally all the websites. We couldn't go into Addicting Games, couldn't go to Miniclip or anything. But the But the one
Oh,
place...
that sounds hard.
yeah, it was super strict. The one place they didn't block, though, was Wikipedia. And I'm not even joking. So I was 13, and I was a little interested in history and stuff like that. I saw, like, I played Red Alert and shit like that. But I just started browsing through all of these different Wikipedia articles, and it was that rabbit hole that you just go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into a topic, and that sparked something in me. I learned a lot more in just these random websites than I ever did in high school. And I had fantastic history teachers, but it's almost like they couldn't convey anything in the way that just a blank Wikipedia page could. And it sounds almost like it'd be the opposite, but that's what sparked it.
No, it literally does, yeah.
It's so weird. But
by the same kind of idea, though, it's like if you're the one who's reading the Wikipedia page, you get to consume it at your own pace.
Yeah.
So I can also see how it would help.
And also the different links, because you don't know what a topic is, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna click on this link, and then it just brings you down another rabbit hole of information. But anyway, that was what started the spark. I actually went into college originally for concept art. And it was like concept art and filmmaking, but halfway through college I realized there's no way I'm going to make money doing concept art, and I had a history minor, so I switched my history minor and I switched it into a history major, and basically that was. So I have college. I have I basically have a bachelor's in history and stuff like that, and now I'm taking time off for basically keeping the channel going and everything like that. I have a wedding next year, and so now I'm taking a break in between getting my master's. So eventually, a year or so from now, when I'm officially settled down, I'll go into my master's. But it almost makes me feel like I don't have as much credentials as I should, because I'm friends with people that they have PhDs in history and they're working on their doctorates and they're teaching classes at universities and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to get a master's. That's it. And but I try to consult with a lot of other people. I know that I definitely don't have as much information as I would want to. And so that's why I spend so much time researching or consulting with friends that are a lot more, at least PhDs that, they have knowledge of stuff like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of funny thing about history, because even within the history community, people will just disagree with one another, even with evidence and stuff like that. And there's different schools of thought. So really, it's, but that's my main credentials with history, how I got into history and stuff like that.
Yeah. On the note of, sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. No, I was rambling.
On the note of disagreements in the history community, what's been the most challenging and/or controversial video you've made on Alternate History Hub? Was there anything that was A, hard to research, or B, when you released it, had a really uproarious response for whatever reason?
Oh man, I have to think about. There have been a lot of videos that I've released and they're just shit shows. I think a lot of my older videos, because I first started this channel when I was 17, and so a lot of my information, especially back then, they were just PowerPoints, and they're extremely wrong. So I deserve all of the people would basically type up theses for why everything in that video was wrong, and I was absolutely and I was
why you're wrong and why you're gay.
Why I was wrong in this was videos that were uploaded in 2012. And I only had 1,000 subs or something like that. So it's people.
Wait, really?
But for more recent videos, I would say anytime I talk about Marxism, or anytime I talk about, I did a video about Woodrow Wilson, and I remember it blew up Reddit because some people fundamentally disagreed with what I said about Wilson, or if I got one little part of Marxist theory wrong, so many subreddits on Reddit would just blow up being like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about, stuff like that.
Don't fuck with Reddit, dude. That's what you fucked up.
Down.
Yeah, so I would have, it's a lot, anytime I upload a video, there's going to be somebody that disagrees with something. But the funny thing is no matter what video I make, like I can make a video, I made a video about the Iran war, I made a video about the Soviets invading Afghanistan and literal terrorism and stuff like that. Those videos are less controversial and have less of a shit show of a comment section than my brother's video about Sonic the Hedgehog. we released.
Dude, you go ahead.
He was basically getting death threats. He was getting, because he said, I don't really like Sonic the Hedgehog except for like Sonic R or something like that. We released our videos within the same week, and
Sonic R? That's the one he likes?
He has weird taste.
I see why he got death threats.
It's more of like an irony. It's more of like, he's not saying it's a genuinely great game. It's like the ironic point of it. Just the models look dumb and stuff like that.
He got like the most enjoyment out of it, whether it was for the right reasons or not.
Yeah,
or the intended reasons, I guess.
He speed ran it.
I can totally understand that though. I'm joking. I'm only jesting.
Yeah, but we released the videos the same week, and mine was talking about Pakistan funding the fucking Taliban and how the U.S. basically accidentally led to 9/11, and his Sonic video had more dislikes.
I'm literally not surprised.
No, like that sounds absolutely right. Like,
yeah.
When I was like young, like elementary school, like I was middle school, like I was big into like Sonic and shit, but like that fandom is like the most fucking like wishy-washy, like turn on its heels kind of thing ever, because they have been thrashed and battered, and they are bitter because of it.
They have not seen. It's like the golden age of Rome is long over, and they're basically just living in the ruins of the city. But it's the Sonic community. I don't even want to deal with that. But I felt sorry for him after that entire fiasco. It's funny how anything about politics or history or anything like that is less controversial than talking about video games. If you talk about video games, if you talk about video games, you will get the most shitfest of people just going after you. Your opinion is wrong and everything. But if you talk about, any conspiracy theory or, not conspiracy theory, but if you talk about like anything super controversial, people won't care. Talk about Sonic the Blue Hedgehog. Ooh, go right after that.
You talk about the DMC reboot, consider your career gone.
Talk about talk about Fortnite and how it's not good or whatever.
Yo, Fortnite's horseshit. Let's be real.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. Fortnite is. But that's I don't know. Whenever I think anybody if they release a video, it's gonna be, there's gonna be people that disagree with it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but
it's like it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what you make.
Yeah,
it's unavoidable.
I'm more shocked that it isn't as controversial, like the stuff that I say on my channel or the stuff that I cover. I'm shocked that it isn't. I don't get more backlash. But I guess it's just the editing style, or I try to not be super one-sided. Like, I'm not trying to be like peak centrist or anything, but I at least try to say it like, I don't have any emotional attachment to anything that's happening, because usually I don't. But yeah, I'm releasing a new video, actually, that's talking about the whole Kurd situation, so that's going to be, I can't wait to see what people say about that. Oh boy.
That'll be something to watch unfold.
Oh yeah. People are gonna be.
I'd imagine that some of the maturity comes from people like. I think it comes from like your target audience. It probably skews a little older than maybe somebody who's looking up why Sonic R is the best Sonic game ever or whatever.
I guess that's true. There is a difference between a history fan and a Sonic fan. But
We're gonna lose all our Sonic
little bit
fans.
old.
What are you
after this
trying to say,
episode.
huh?
They're gonna be all pissed at us.
Rightfully so.
How many people who are, devoted to Sonic watch this podcast?
Probably a lot. Let's be honest.
Consider how large in part our audience is like furry and or internet denizen.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean-
all furries are Sonic fans.
I know, but like a lot of the people that like video games are more predisposed to like watch something like our podcast.
I had
Fucking nerds.
I had somebody on my subreddit say, "Is Cody an anti-furry?" And he put all of this list of evidence for my anti-furry comments I've made, and this was shit going back like 5 years. And I was just
Let's see some of the comments, Cody. Let's see them.
Well, I don't remember what the comments specifically are, but oh no, this is cancel culture. This is gonna alternate history of canceled for anti-furry stuff.
Bro, we can cancel you right here, right now.
Oh no, that's what the 2020s is. The 2020s is furry rights. That's what. But
As it should be.
as it should be. Yeah. Shit. I actually genuinely don't remember what the comments are. I remember I commented on a
I'll find the Reddit post.
on the Flash. I commented on a Flash Gets video, because they did that video about the furries and the Space Marines, and I said like some quip or something, and it's almost weird how people will go through every single thing you've ever said, and they will keep records of it, and it's
That's real creepy.
yeah, it really is, because I mean, if my comments, or if somebody mentions my name in like a Reddit post or anything like that, they'll be like, oh, I know, alternate history hub or anything like that, and then there'll be somebody like right below me will be like, oh well, he said this thing about, and they're not even like controversial, they're not even like bad like statements or anything like that. It's just I didn't say this one thing right about a certain scenario or something like that, and it's really, really specific stuff, but they then tie that to your person, and they act like you're then a terrible person because you got one specific thing in a video wrong, or you maybe didn't talk about in the right way. And normally I completely agree with the comments that they're actually saying. I just think to myself, I conveyed this really well in the video when I made it. I don't know how you took this the wrong way. Yeah, I don't know. It's
People are just looking for like weird excuses.
I
to
think
be
I
angry.
found it.
Oh my god, you found it!
I'm
What, you
pretty
found a cure to
sure.
cancer?
sure. Why not?
I mean,
Why not?
this
Closeted
mentions,
anti-fur YouTubers.
This mentions Flash Gets in the post.
How do you be
So I think this
closeted
might be it.
anti-furry? Like what?
Yeah. So
Oh, there's anti-fur is a closeted anti-fur.
I think
I
this
don't.
person got banned.
I don't know what it is. He said a closeted anti-fur, something like that, and I
Well, this is probably it.
and I was
then.
thinking like I'm not a. It's almost like I'm not like anti-furry. I don't think about furries, or I think about the cringe. I think about the cringe culture of furries. Like that's that sort of thing. I don't.
Digging a grave,
Well,
Cody. Shut your
that's
mouth.
what everybody like. That's what everybody thinks of when they think of furries, though.
Yeah, but then, sorry.
The most
Is
outlandish
this
of the
satire?
bunch.
This looks like satire.
I don't think it is though. I think they got.
It's
banned
called
from
Real
the fucking
Furry
Reddit.
Hours. You're kidding me, right? Like
Is that what he? What was that his
that's
name?
the subreddit.
This-
It's called our
The
subreddit.
subreddit
This
was
is what I
made this year,
found.
so I don't know. It's very small, so I have no idea. List of potential closeted furries in the comments. Pyrocynical iDubbbz.
Dude,
What
I
else?
think it's just people like there's one called Furries all pick the same animal as their persona. I think
I
this is
100% agree
people-
with that.
But I think this is like a subreddit where people are like talking about furries in like a unrestricted way or something.
Or
like
it's
that.
like-
That's why it's called Real Furry.
They're
Hours.
having
subreddit
like
for serious
political
discussion.
talks about it. Yeah, it's like serious furry.
Yeah, that's what I think
discussion.
they're doing.
Oh, apparently it's for like proper discourse, like for both sides. Apparently, that's weird. Not weird, but interesting.
I mean, they should. I think that's really
No,
adult of them.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting dialogue to witness, but like, I didn't think I'd see it ever.
I am so excited to go to AnthroCon. Are you guys excited?
Oh yeah,
I am excited.
Bought my tickets already. I'm gonna go as.
Is it close? Is it close to VidCon? Is that
no? There's a shit. Hold on.
I'm gonna go.
Jamie, pull that up.
Jimmy,
You might think we're joking, but we're actually talking about going to AnthroCon.
should.
Bro,
Fella,
I ain't setting anything in stone yet. Fuck.
I'm
Brandon,
gonna
you're
go.
going to
Me and Diesel, at least. Me and Diesel.
I gotta
at
think
least.
about that long and hard.
I'm gonna go to AnthroCon as my own persona, naked man. It's gonna be great.
It's like one of the bald cats. That's your first.
Yeah,
time.
bald cat.
Just like the really
gonna just-
fleshy, wrinkly ones.
I'm just gonna grease myself up and run around on all fours and stuff like that.
No, okay. By the way, I don't think this dude was like fuck. I don't think it was satire.
No,
I think this
it's-
post is legit.
So it's like no meme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you scroll down, he just. I think they start having an argument.
I've had people genuinely question me like how do you view what's your views on furries? What's your views on like this random specific culture of internet people or something
super
like that?
niche
Yeah,
group
super
of the internet.
niche.
What is your opinion?
And then they'll take anything you say if you say like a joke or anything like that. And sometimes they'll just make stuff up, and it's weird because it's like. I don't know. I don't think it's not like they're a real oppressed group, or they act like they're a real oppressed group, but then it's like they make you like this sort of bigot towards that internet
Furries are
niche.
extremely oppressed.
They get disproportionately shit on, but I don't know if oppressed is the right word.
But they act like it's like they're I don't know you could call it the civil rights leaders of the furry community. Furry rights.
They are the civil
Furry
rights leader of our generation.
Martin
okay?
Luther King would be proud.
Don't downplay the furry.
Everyone's favorite civil rights leader, Kiro the Wolf or something. I don't know, but
Oh no, that's the one nobody likes in and outside of the community.
yeah, I know that.
Didn't he get interviewed by Shane Dawson?
Yes.
Wait, who did?
The one who actually fucked a dog.
Yeah.
Ew.
Shane Dawson interviewed him. Shane Dawson. I mean, I don't know. You're looking at that cat real funny.
That's a
Old meme.
I should
God,
say,
I
was
forgot
he
about that.
like confirmed dog fucker, or was it like just implied dog fuckery?
I don't know.
For Cara the Wolf.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah, that
think-
was like no meme serious. Yeah, that was like.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
they had like
was-
pictures or something, or like
Yeah, he had like
Yeah.
shared pictures with like a bunch of other people who are zoophiles, and then like one of
Oh,
the
that's
furries
awful.
leaked them to well, they didn't leak them to the public. They sent them to the FBI first,
yeah,
and then
I
they ended up on the public. So.
and the police got involved and all. That's a good alternate history. What if Kiro didn't fuck his dog? That's coming up.
40-minute extravaganza.
What if he left his dog alone?
40-minute documentary, 5 ads, sponsored by NordVPN. It'll happen.
Only 5? What? What are you doing, buddy?
Well, you see,
You can fit 20 on that shit.
put 20 ads. Oh God,
Dude, 7 mid rolls, one like every 5 minutes. It's only fair.
double ads. Ads before and after. Yeah, it got the true 2019 YouTube experience. Will be great.
Just go look at my channel. You will be disappointed that this is not an ironic
Click in a
statement.
video and it's just like playing one of 23 ads.
It's littered.
Just right at the start.
I love how that in the chat. That's the pick that they went for the closeted anti-fur YouTubers. It's just a plastic Sonic mask. That's
No, that wasn't that posted separately.
Oh, that was.
Oh, it was. Oh, I was thinking they posted that. Like that was like their symbol of oppression or representation.
That's a mask you can buy on Amazon.
I want to buy. I want to buy
that's
that.
that was the really shit Sonic design, right?
Yeah.
Did you all see the new ones?
Yes, I
Mask
saw
looks
the
so
new one.
shitty.
Yeah, they there was new images of like the redesign leaked, and they actually looked quite decent.
Yeah, I think he actually looks pretty good. He doesn't look like the modern like gotta go fast Sonic. He looks like they're
I don't think they ever like. I feel like that was the original character design, and they just made a trailer that looked really stupid.
That would have cost
You think it was
millions of
planned?
dollars
Yo,
in bad
got
press. I
debated.
doubt it.
Nah, I think it was planned. I 100% believe.
I think
was
it was
I don't think it
planned.
was
We
planned.
live in a day and age where weird shit happens because, like, I don't know, fucking China said so. Like, China said, make an ugly Sonic.
Yeah, that looks. The thing that I'm
Yeah.
wondering is that his legs look shorter, so it's like
I think Yeah, I think it's more like it's less humanized,
Yeah.
more proportional to the original cartoon style. The only thing that like kind of puts me off is the blue arms, but like honestly, that's not that huge of a deal.
Yeah,
That's a big deal in the Sonic community. How dare you?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's big. Like it's big for me because that's how I grew up. But it's like it is like unsettling because I'm used to the beige ones. But like it's not like a game breaking thing.
Compared-
breaking. What the fuck am I saying?
compared to
What it was, yeah.
It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of walking outside and seeing your house on fire, than walking inside and seeing a trash on fire. So it's like
His shoes look infinitely sicker this way as well. Like they look dope.
I think I'm trying to think of how this would work from a CGI perspective, because I can't imagine they would have changed his actual size in the movie, because just the way that people look, because they probably already filmed everything. They probably already have all those shots. So
That's why I think it was planned. It was just PR.
I mean, the way like post works, like the way 3D modeling works in CGI, it's like it's all like they might have just changed the proportions rather than the actual size.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. They probably
So like
just,
the height of the character would be the same, so it's decently easy to replace.
Yeah.
But it's like CGI is a lot less boundless than people think. Like, it's like in stuff that you wouldn't even think of. Like in Endgame, like the Captain America cowl was completely CGI, and like that himself versus himself fight.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's why. I mean, I know they can do that. I was just thinking of the like just scaling. They'll probably just have to just scale him up, stuff like that. He looks like quite a chonker though. That's
Oh yeah.
Chunky Sonic.
looks good, actually.
Speaking of Chonk Sonic, they brought back Fat Pikachu.
Oh yeah,
God
I
bless.
saw that. Is anybody actually excited for Sword and Shield? Like,
We'll probably get
amongst
it
you
like in
guys?
half
I'm
a
gonna
year.
play it, but I ain't like hyped for it. Like I'm not sitting here like, oh, I can't wait for the new Pokemon. I'm kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, new Pokemon.
Yeah,
I'm not like super hyped for it. Like I might have been an older
I'm
Pokemon
too
game. I
jaded
just
to
can't.
enjoy anything anymore. You know.
Alrighty then, dude.
nothing matters.
Yeah.
I just
we
can't
live in
bring myself to
society,
be as
you know?
excited.
Don't feed into it.
Now
I'll probably get it in like half a year, but it's a little cheaper.
we gotta ask
November
Cody the
now?
real
November
historical
15th?
questions here, guys. Right? Okay. So
No.
is it
Oh.
GIF or GIF?
It's
There's a correct answer.
it's a good GIF. There you go.
There. That's what I like to hear.
Good GIF.
Good GIF.
Good GIF. GIF.
Actually, it's
Looks
GIF.
like Brandon's wrong again.
Brandon
not
actually
gonna argue.
pronounced it GIF today, and I was like really proud of him.
gave
What do you
up.
guys call it?
I gave
Do you
up.
call it GIF or
We
GIF?
we all say me and Diesel said GIF. Brandon used to say GIF, and we bullied out of
I
him out of
say
saying it.
GIF now because everyone's like, it's not GIF, it's GIF. It's fucking GIF. But
Yeah,
you know,
I don't put moving images in between my fucking sandwiches, do I?
Just think of it as peanut butter. It's chunky GIF. No, that's what you call a GIF. A GIF that's not loading. It's just chunky. So it's a lot of patches. A lot of things there.
Chunky.
Yeah. Why not? Okay, more good. Those are the important questions. That we're back on track now.
Do you think possums are cute?
These are great questions.
Who asked this
I was
shit?
gonna. I was going to, but Brandon still.
I think
I need to know.
no. They
wrong.
they have
Yay,
they have
he's
those
smart.
soulless they have those soulless shark eyes. That's what I see when I see them.
Okay, sharks are cute
I think
too.
possums are fucking fat rats.
Brandon,
That's just me.
you are a fat rat.
I like raccoons
Well-
though. I always think of possums and
That's
raccoons
fair.
in that same tier. So
like,
Yeah,
come
but
on. Like, you can't
raccoons
tell
are
me this
trash
isn't adorable.
pandas.
Like, come on.
That's
now.
not. That looks
Yes,
like a
I
massive
can.
rat.
I don't.
What?
It's so unsettling. Its eyes are just really. It might be the white face.
It's a very large rat.
'Cause I-
very
'cause I
stompable.
like-
It's not even a rodent. It's a marsupial.
Well, the weird thing, I
rodents.
like mice. I like mice and rats and stuff. But possums just they creep me out a little bit. It's weird. Can't explain it.
See, there you go.
It's the lips. It's the lips.
Diesel's
wearing
2 for 2 for
lipstick.
today.
Diesel's
Possum's
wrong.
ugly. It's a GIF.
See that's a rat. That's cute. That's a cute rat. It's the white
I don't know.
face.
You go to New York City and you see one of those, you're like, Jesus Christ, it's the size of my fucking dog.
Put it in my pocket.
New York rat.
Get rabies.
New York rat.
New
My
York sewer
favorite
rat.
ones with the picture.
You remember
Not the picture, the
Pizza Rat?
the
That
pizza.
old meme?
Yeah, the
Holy
pizza
shit.
rat.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Like 2015 or something.
Yeah, that's
a while
some
ago.
great A ancient memery right there.
The true lore, true history.
Alternate history. Funny.
Funny. This is
Oh, I wanted to ask about like So there's a bit of an issue with like monetization for history channels and like
Yeah.
all of that. So I think a lot of our audience will be unfamiliar. So like, what's happening with all that right now?
Yeah, so I'm actually glad that you. I thought you guys were going to ask this immediately, so I'm very glad that you did it. Yeah, so the whole deal that's happening is YouTube wants to make their entire platform more family friendly. And I'm sure you guys all know about the whole adpocalypse that happened, 2 years ago and all that fun. Yeah, so it's like
all three of them.
Ever since that happened, YouTube has now been trying to crack down on anything that can be considered controversial, all that fun jazz. And the community that hits the most is the history community, because the stuff that we're talking about, no matter the context, is going to be considered controversial. You talk about World War II, you talk about any sort of war or conflict that happened in the last 2 centuries, that's going to be considered controversial. Entire countries are now off limits. You can't talk about Syria or Afghanistan. And Nerd City did release that list of all of the wars that you can't talk about, and they'll just be instant demonetization. And so this can be I'm trying to think, but basically the problem that we run into now is the stuff that people watch history videos for is war and conflict or learning about stuff like that, and YouTube's basically saying you can't talk about that stuff anymore. They changed the entire policy system, and they listed war or sensitive topics as a grounds for demonetization. They won't say which war or which insensitive topic. It really just depends on the whim of the algorithm, almost, because it's constantly changing. So what this has done is a lot of my friends are basically making no money from new videos. They'll spend weeks on a video, release it, and then it's instantly dead in the water because it's talking about a no-no topic that YouTube doesn't want covered. And it's all because advertisers don't want, their say they're selling peanut butter or anything like that. They don't want that tied to something about the Civil War or something tied to World War I or Prussia or anything like that. So this has become a major deal for a lot of people. My friend Armchair Historian, he has a whole staff and everything. They had to actually go on production hiatus because they couldn't afford to, continue making videos. There's a channel called The Great War, which talks about World War I and World War II. They had 250 of their videos randomly demonetized just one day out of the blue. They were never demonetized before, and they're just gone. Or they can't make money off them anymore. So they actually had to then crowdfund to even continue doing the stuff that they've been doing easily for the last 5 years. So the relationship between the history community and YouTube is extremely uncertain now. We don't know what we can talk about, and it's always a risk every single time we upload a video. It's just going to have that stupid yellow circle. And that's how, I'm probably better at adapting because I can talk about pop culture and stuff like that, but for a lot of people, they can't adapt because this is just the stuff that, their audience comes for, and now they can't make money off it. So
yeah, the niche is just less flexible.
Yeah, so I released a video last week about basically saying how I create a new video, but I'm not going to release it on YouTube because I know that it would be demonetized. And the way that demonetization works, and I know you guys know this, I don't know if your audience does, but the way that demonetization works is if your video doesn't make money, YouTube doesn't want to promote it. So then it just gets barely any views, and it's basically dead in the water. I had a video 2-3 weeks ago that I spent a month researching, and because it talked about Afghanistan and talked about the Soviets, it barely got any views because it couldn't make YouTube money. So yeah, so I uploaded a new video on a friend's separate site. It's called the armchairhistorian.com if people want to go check it out. But it's a collection of a bunch of different history YouTubers all coming together and having videos that they couldn't make on YouTube. And it's kind of just it's not a replacement for YouTube, which it's I guess you could call it putting different eggs in different baskets, just in case YouTube does go to shit. There's at least a life raft. So that's what the history community now has resorted to. We have to crowdfund, get sponsored deals, and when we upload videos, we don't know if we're actually going to make money from it. So that is the current state of all of it.
It's ridiculous how hard like the history community has been hit with this, because I know, like, even with like my college courses, a lot of times we'll use different like history videos or different like videos from different YouTubers as like either sources, or like a professor will put it on for like a good like primer for a lesson, you know, and it's just like try and knock that out. And I don't even, I mean, let's be real here, YouTube probably doesn't like give a shit or actually notice what they're doing, but like the fact that that's happened when it's such a big like thing that even people who don't use YouTube for in like passing, like that's like it's almost ridiculous, because there's lots of great information there that just people won't get as a result of YouTube's stupidity.
Yeah, it's hilarious because they're hypocrites about it too. I went to VidCon this summer, and they have a whole separate area called EduCon, and they basically have this whole conference where they'll come up and they'll say, you know, we love education on YouTube and we support, you know, every aspect, and we like, they act like it's their golden child, but then at the same time they'll have these policies that, because it makes the advertisers a little scared, they'll basically fuck over a sizable portion of their education community because of it.
Is the EduCon subsection like YouTube backed? Because I'm pretty sure VidCon's like separate from YouTube directly.
Yeah, it's not funded by YouTube. I think Viacom owns VidCon.
Yeah, Viacom is the parent company.
But YouTube still has they set up a lot of stuff for it. And they even, I forgot who they brought out. They brought out it was a head division for marketing, or it was a head division for communications or something like that. But it was a YouTube exec, and he came out and he was basically talking about the importance of education, everything like that, and we love you guys, and this is the stuff that makes our website feel worth it. The rest of the guys, they don't mean shit. You guys are the good ones. And it's like, you know, obviously that's just corporate speak. They don't actually mean it. But yeah, it's hilarious because every single time I see that demonetization sign, I just think back on YouTube, you know, bringing their execs out and acting like, you know, they care about the community. And they really don't. They care about stuff that, you know, properly gains revenue. And just, you know, now this year it's talking about certain countries, or talking about certain conflicts, or, you know, no topics that doesn't make money anymore. So we have to figure out another way. So that's fun.
I know they've been trying to take steps to like putting more money, like or getting like lining up ads with yellow icon stuff in general, where it's like not specifically history, but like where having a yellow icon doesn't mean it's the end of the line for that video. It just means like it's in a different kinds of advertisements what we put on it. But it's like they haven't been super clear on that, and most of the way that like people find out about that is through Creator Insider, and that gets lost in all the other hubbub. You hear about it like that got announced at the same time the verification shit was happening, so them trying to do a good thing was completely lost.
Oh my god.
Oh my, wow. Yeah, I think that's kind of just a thing that everybody deals with YouTube. YouTube barely communicates with anybody, and
yep.
I mean, it wasn't, I think the last time it took everybody freaking out about them taking away the verification. That was like last month, which feels like forever ago. But Yeah, it took everybody uniting against that for them to back off. And that's the thing, is that because the communities are so split, we're probably just going to see certain communities dwindle down, or at least be a lot harder to get into because of the system that, you know, YouTube's creating. It's just how it is. So, man, you guys just had to make a whole down. You brought this. You brought. No.
All right. Well, here's a complete out of left field question.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how to ask this one.
Oh boy.
You could read out the words that form the question. There's an idea.
All right. I mean, it's not even a question. It's more like a topic.
All right.
Please don't tell me it's the one you just highlighted.
You bet it is.
Oh no.
I don't know. I don't have the confidence to ask that right now. I'm not feeling.
All right,
No,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
ask a different one first.
I'm
then.
curious
Can
now.
you make a video? Can you make a video talking about if the Joker didn't live in a society?
No comedy. No comedy.
No, completely straight. Completely.
Yeah, completely straight.
I would.
Like,
Yeah, you know, I think one day, you know, because if I truly get sick of society enough, I'll just, you know, I got some Joker paint.
that was actually probably a banger video. What if the Joker didn't live in society?
There's actually
you know all it is.
now that
It just shows.
Now that I think about it, there's a lot to be theorized. What if, like, a person like the Joker found himself the last person on Earth and he had to survive I Am Legend style? Like, what kind of existence is that for someone like him?
I think you just get Last Man on Earth, but with a guy in a clown costume. That's
Is it a costume or is that the reality?
The costume is when he takes off the paint. That's the mask that he really wears. Yeah.
Oh, that says a lot about society. You know?
We truly do. Well, you know, I think if Joker lived by himself, I Am Legend style, he wouldn't have to worry about the Chads and Stacys. So I think he'd be a lot happier. That's what the video would be about. It's just the Chads and Stacys all disappear. There's just like rainbows, and Joker's just like, you know, an N64. He's just like playing his N64 Minecraft or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. Fortnite. He'd Fortnite dances. Fucking shit like that. I don't know. And then my channel just dies. It'll be great. It's a hell of a way to go out. I would love to. I would do that. I like doing dumb April Fool's videos. So who knows? If only Joker was made during April, I could have done something like that. It's a shame.
That would have been.
That's
a funny joke video. Yeah. Like if Joker didn't live in a society.
It's a video that just gives people epileptic seizures, and it's just flashing a society as a joke, and it just keeps flashing that. And it just has like Shinedown or like some fucking it has like fucking Nickelback, like shitty 2000s MP3 player quality, and it's just like flashing. Yeah. Oh no, Breaking Bad or not Breaking Bad, Breaking Benjamin or Linkin Park. It's just going like falling in my skin. I don't know, some shit like that.
Don't sing the melody; it can be claimed.
Yep, that's officially been copyrighted now. Nobody steal my idea, my OC.
Let's get to the viewer questions before we run the clock. All right. At Longboy Furret, what is the worst possible timeline?
God,
The one that the Joker doesn't exist.
yeah, no, one where my mom doesn't give me my tendies. I don't. I don't know. I mean, Fortnite went down. That's no. I don't know. That's what I actually truly think is. I try to think of, you know, on a kind of a serious note. I sometimes. Well, I mean, probably the worst possible timeline is just one where, like, you know, everyone got nuked sometime during the Cold War, and that would have been a very likely possibility. So I say, compared to, you know, civilization still existing, I think we're doing pretty well. It could be better, though. We could be in a better timeline.
Do you think it would have been a worse timeline if everything just ended? Or if society, like, as a whole was just steeped into suffering, like if Hitler won World War II and then everybody just sucked dick? Figuratively speaking.
I mean, it could always... that's the thing, is that there's always... I almost feel like it's a miracle that we're even at the point that we are in terms of our technology levels, in terms of global peace and everything like that. If history had occurred in any other way, I doubt we would be living in such a long period of peace and, technological advancement. Because really, I mean, the creation of nukes really forced everybody to no longer fight these giant global wars or fight each other for influence. Everything had to become soft power. And, through, just the Industrial Revolution, everything like that, we ended up getting modern medicine, and humans today live longer, healthier lives than ever. In the 200,000 years that modern anatomical humans have, existed, we live the best quality of life. I remember Vsauce. Vsauce said that of all of the humans who have ever existed, half of them have died from malaria. So, half of all the humans ever existed died from malaria, a single disease. So I think that we're actually in a pretty good comparable situation, due to our circumstances. I mean, stuff could always be better. We could always have less poverty and, less war and less, shitty politics and stuff like that. But
everything is relative.
For being dumb monkeys that, that 200,000 years ago, couldn't do shit, and now we have literal weapons of war that could annihilate ourselves, and we didn't do that. I think we got off pretty scot-free. So, for now. I could always jinx it, and we could all die.
Yeah, we still got a long time before we can say for sure that we didn't fucking destroy everything.
I don't know. Disney Plus is about to launch, and I think of that like Skynet. That's what it feels like for me. Maybe Disney Plus.
Disney Plus is Skynet.
I just think of Disney Plus turning on, and it's the ending of Terminator 3, where all the nukes just come, but it's just Mickey Mouse going, and he fucking nukes New York City or something like that, and that's Disney's grand plan. I just see that. It's so ominous. It's so ominous for me whenever I see Disney Plus. It's gonna come in a month or so. It's like a countdown. It's like, oh. So if we ever die, it's gonna be because of Mickey Mouse. That's the whole lesson of all of us.
Well, yeah, Disney probably is gonna kill all of us. Let's be real.
They're going to. It's called corporate synergy, okay? It's not called genocide. It's called corporate synergy.
Oh my god.
I didn't call it genocide.
I don't know why. I feel like I could see Disney doing this. That's the problem. They're so fucking awful and people don't realize it.
They are the puppet masters, and we are on the strings.
They technically could just have a bunch of stormtroopers come out and they just say it's one big Disney parade right through Paris.
It's just Star Wars, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, why do you think Disneyland and Disney World are a no-fly zone?
Oh.
What? That's a thing?
Yeah, they paid for it back in the day. They just never stopped paying for it.
Jesus Christ.
It's a genuine no-fly zone.
That's terrifying. I mean, I just think
plotting.
that's terrifying.
Has anybody...
Yeah, that's why when you go to Disneyland, you're like, oh, the air's so clean, there's no planes, because they can't fucking fly over there.
I found out the other day that there was a Kinect game that was literally just a recreation of a Disneyland, but in a video game, and you controlled it with the Kinect. And
that
then
was a Scott DeWaz video.
Controls. Exactly, that's where I found it out from.
I think I saw
Alright.
it.
Wait, what? Go.
You said you thought you saw something.
Oh no, I was gonna say something pretty dumb. Okay, so anyway, what were you guys saying?
No, I was about to ask a stupid fucking question anyway.
Well, ask a stupid fucking question.
Just ask your stupid fucking question.
Okay, this
is gonna kill us all.
Jesus, this is from @1RLMVT. Jesus Christ, what an awful
Relevant.
It's a hell of a name.
How many holes does a straw have?
Shit, that's a good fucking question.
Can I explain my reasoning for this? I think it's 2. Because if you think of a tunnel, you can think of it as a really long straw.
Yeah, it has 2 ends.
But it has 2 entrances, and those are considered separate holes. So I think a straw follows the same logic.
I think of a hole as in if you put a hole in a piece of paper, that's like one hole, because it's, you know, you could put your finger through it, or so. It's a continuation.
But there's like barely any depth to it.
Are
Whereas
tunnels and straws just long holes?
Yeah, maybe a tunnel's just long holes. You know?
Stupid shit like this actually makes you think. You're like, what the fuck?
I mean, because
I hate this argument more than I hate the water is wet one by far.
Because think about this: what if the black hole isn't actually a hole? It's a long tunnel. So it's a black tunnel instead of a hole.
This is a oddly yes, a black tunnel, if you know what I mean.
Well, when does
Thanks.
Like if you're like digging through like a mountain, right? Like you start by making a hole on one side, right? And then like you finish by breaking the other side. Are you making a new hole, or is there's always been just one hole throughout that entire process, despite a new opening being made?
Well, if you make two holes and they're not connected, say you start on one side and then you start on the other and you're just making a hole, then they're just two holes. But then when you connect them, then it's one big hole. Then it becomes a big hole.
But I'm saying, like, if you go like start from one side and you work all the way to the other one, without like touching the other one, is that just one hole the entire time?
Yeah, you're just making one big hole. Because would it be technically, when you come out the other end, would that be then making a second hole?
Who would win, the English language or one long empty boy?
I am so confused.
This is why California banned straws. Okay, this shit right here.
Right. Listen, dude, I'm finna eat a plastic straw just to show that turtles are pussies.
Jesus.
Do turtles get high when they eat jellyfish?
No, I think they die. Wait, do they eat
die.
jellyfish naturally?
No, they eat jellyfish naturally. It's plastic bags that are the issue.
But do they get high? That's what I'm asking. Do they get high from jellyfish?
Oh, maybe they get.
Because I read something about it on Twitter.
Just,
I don't know
if you ever see the video of the turtle having the straw pulled out from its nostril, you'll never want to use plastic straws again. Like, hands down. Like,
well, that's why I'm not gonna watch the video.
It's pretty fucking awful. Like,
what if I really hate turtles though? Like, what if I just have a primal?
You
just go to the ocean and dump a bag of plastic straws in it.
Turtles killed my family when I was young, and I just have a vendetta. Yeah, just pour the freaking straws.
Your family was a bunch of jellyfish?
Dad, I didn't realize Franklin did you that dirty.
Wait, how many turtles have killed humans?
Probably like
a couple.
There has to be at least one dude who died from a fucking turtle.
How many turtles
you ever
killed humans?
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, Jamie, type. I'm thinking, you know how eagles swoop down and they pick turtles up and they like fly them up and then they drop them?
Yeah.
I want to know if anybody's ever died because a turtle fell from the heavens and hit him in the skull.
Yeah, that's really fucking unlucky.
Imagine going out like that. You're just going on your day and then a turtle just from the sky. That would be one way.
All right.
That'd be one way.
At Madhouse Killer 1. Interesting at. All right. If World War III ever happens, what would be the biggest reason for it?
If World War III ever what?
What do you think is the most likely way that World War III would start?
Oh,
China.
Honestly,
just say China.
Yeah, that's the meme right now. No, I think it'd be India and Pakistan.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. China, they're authoritarian, but they're smart. They're more conniving about everything. And even though, they did the occasional Tiananmen Square thing, I don't think in the modern day they'll be so blatant, at least to a point that people want to nuke them. But India and Pakistan, they're both nuclear armed, and they're always constantly on the brink of, they always have firefights and skirmishes and stuff like that. All it takes is just for one side to have a leader that says, fuck it, we can win it. And, potentially 500 million people are dead.
I mean, no one's really gonna win a world war if there's fucking nukes. Like, no one's really gonna win.
Yeah, but I forgot what it was. I think it was, it was Bay of Pigs. Not Bay of Pigs, it was a Cuban Missile Crisis. The idea in the White House at the time was Kennedy didn't want to invade Cuba because it would cause a nuclear war. The main mentality with the entire military was, yes, we're going to lose a lot of people, but we'll hit them first, and we'll go up on top. And the thing is that idea still hasn't really went away from the U.S. military, or from any major military, because if a nuclear war does happen, and it's like absolutely, mandatory that they know I need to shoot off our nukes now, they'll all just be in, pretty much bunkers, and the statistics, the human lives and human costs will basically just be stats on a computer screen. If you want to know what it's really like, play the game. I forgot it was
Plague Inc.
No, yeah, play a game. No, I forgot what the game was called, but it was basically a simulation of being an actual general in the middle of a nuclear war, and pretty much
nuclear war simulator.
Yeah, it's a nuclear war simulator.
Is it called DEF CON by any chance?
I think it's DEF CON, but basically the only thing you really see is a global map and nukes where they launch and the stats that come from the human death toll. But
this just sounds like Plague Inc.
Yeah, it is Plague Inc. But the thing is that you're completely emotionally detached to that.
I mean, you're trying to kill the whole world in Plague Inc.
I don't imagine there would be a situation where the first world nations would ever do that. But I can imagine there would be a situation where India and Pakistan would do that. Or if, say, Saudi Arabia somehow got a nuke. Or Iran, if they, these very unstable regimes. I could easily see small-scale nuclear wars happening, if people are...
It sounds like such an oxymoron to say small-scale nuclear war.
It's weird to think of, but a small-scale nuclear war can easily escalate into a large-scale nuclear war, or it can lead to a situation where another country is going to retaliate because of something like that. So that's the thing, is even if just India and Pakistan launch nukes at each other, it could easily get China involved, or Russia involved, or say assets from another country, because imagine if hundreds of nukes go off, some country's assets or people are going to be killed by that, and then they're going to take that as a threat or as an attack. And so, that's just the way it could easily escalate if something like that happened. But back to the point I was getting at, yeah, India and Pakistan. Those are the two. That's how it's going to happen. Yeah.
At Raider Right 1, God, guys, great ats. Favorite?
It's not that hard.
Well, excuse me, I never learned how to read.
Clearly.
Favorite historical period?
Either Napoleonic Europe or the Crusades. Not to live in, but I find them absolutely fascinating, just in terms.
Sorry, whenever somebody says Crusader, Crusades, I just think of r/Crusader memes.
Yeah, no, that's it
That's
certainly
exactly
helps.
what I thought of.
It certainly helps, but I sometimes I like history that's sort of familiar, but it's just foreign enough to make it interesting. But yeah, how about you guys? What's your favorite historical time?
2016 YouTube.
Okay, okay.
I miss Leafy so much.
I miss Fred.
Leafy, come back.
That wasn't 2016.
I know Fred was back in 2010.
Brandon, do you remember anything before you were born, or do you think the universe was just made when you came out of the womb?
The universe was made when I popped out.
Diesel, Diesel, he can't remember anything from before he was born because he was not born.
I don't think the universe even exists now. I think all of this is fake.
Well, if we're talking real talk here, I just think this is a simulation.
Yeah, it's all,
What's the theory that nothing exists when you're not perceiving it? If you're not perceiving
the universe
something,
was
it's
created
not
last Tuesday or something like that.
Well, there's last.
No. So when you So like, let's say like you look at the corner of your room, right? But then when you look away from it, it's not there anymore. When you look again,
it's called wait, isn't that just called not having
That's something babies don't have.
that you're thinking
permanence.
that's object.
It's not having object permanent. Yeah, that's
I feel like it's separate though. Like there's a theory that like
No, it's a separate theory, but that's what it reminded me of. Because like babies,
object permanence is like
if you walk around a wall, a baby will be like, "Where the fuck did my mom go?" Like they'll have no idea.
Yeah, dumbass fucking babies, idiots. But it's like that's why Peekaboo is so fucking great for them because they're stupid.
Take that, babies. Not having a fully functioning brain.
I will punt the next baby I see.
Baby can't even drive a car or file a tax return. What an idiot. Jeez.
Okay, Quackity.
Yeah.
I can barely file a tax return.
That would be the funniest. If you ever,
Me too.
If you ever wanted to be like, go back in the past and become like a guru or like a prophet and just screw with everybody, just like say, hey, you know that whole object permanence thing? That's actually a lie. We actually nobody else exists except for you, and then just let it go nuts. Just let him go nuts.
That's so fucked up.
Personally, I just bring a Glock, but like.
just start gunning down. Poor
Oh yeah, if I could go back in time, dude, I'd fucking go back with guns to a point where there was no guns.
Like,
just fucking rule the world.
Just like a gun that shoots more than one bullet without taking 20 years to reload. Like fucking.
You would literally be a god. Like
I'd go back with. I want to go back with a modern gun. I'd go back with a Civil War musket, because with Civil War muskets you can create mini balls. And you can,
True.
Yeah, you can just melt down. I don't know how you're gonna find the metal, but just bring a bunch of metal and just melt it down. Make mini balls, and there you go.
Well, just take enough ammo to like kill an okay amount of people, so they believe that you're a god.
I mean, gun maintenance is like
yeah.
Gun maintenance with modern weapons would be a lot harder in olden times. Whereas like I feel like you could fasten the kind of tools you need with like a Civil War era weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you'd be like a lot easier to kill.
Yeah, but like your weapon might be effective for way longer.
See, this is what you do. You just take the entire country of Kuwait. Okay, so you got your oil, and you just teleport that back in the past with a bunch of Abram tanks, and then you just go nuts. Yeah.
He's got ambition, I must admit.
Oh boy. Any more fantastic questions?
Let's see. Someone asked, will you make a Minecraft lore video?
Sure.
Yeah, that's about as good as I get.
Right after the Fortnite one.
So.
Yeah. And the Roblox.
That's funny, because he didn't read the whole thing.
The first part of the question.
Died.
Yeah, the first part of the question was, Fortnite is dead. Crap. I have it.
I mean, Minecraft has interesting lore in it. But it's all like
there's lore to it, which is odd.
It's all like theoretical.
What if Minecraft never existed?
I just know the Ender Dragon thing. That's the only lore thing I know.
That sounds like a meme, but like imagine if a cultural force like Minecraft never did exist. Like what kind of stuff would be different?
So much of the modern game industry was practically like it was absolutely changed up by Minecraft. There you go.
So many of the
history of video
like
games class putting that to use.
It certainly made. I think it made a whole generation embrace creativity.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's that's a pretty good thing for it to do. I can't imagine any other game. I mean, maybe RuneScape, 2006 RuneScape. That's what all the kids would be playing instead, and it just continue on. Fortnite. Yeah.
All right. Most of these questions are all like
memes.
Fucking bad.
Oh boy.
Don't bully them, Diesel. They're trying their best.
I know, and then they always get mad because they're like, why should we give questions anyway? You guys just say they're shit.
I mean, they're right.
Well, if they were good, we wouldn't say they were shit, now would we?
Y'all just don't look hard enough. There's good ones in there.
No, what do you think? I pulled out the good ones.
Well, Twitter buries them because people like the stupid ones.
Yeah, because people keep, like this one here that's just like tits or ass.
Like, this one is useless. Like, I admit, this is useless. This is useless.
That's hot.
That really says a lot about society.
Truly. I don't. 6 Shapiros. That's something.
I mean, 6 Shapiros. That's barely enough for me, if you know what I'm saying.
That's a full-grown man right there. 6
can
Shapiros.
Oh my god.
It's a full-grown. Shapiros are growing in good this season.
Average-sized man.
Ben Shapiro isn't anything.
We should get Ben Shapiro on the podcast.
Ben Shapiro on the podcast.
We joked about getting Andrew Yang on the podcast. We think we could do it if we drummed up enough. Like,
Sold our souls to Satan.
Give him
I don't know.
$1,000.
I mean, I can see it happening.
Just give him $1,000 and it'll economically incentivize him to come onto the podcast.
Speaking straight facts.
Oh boy.
Do you think we made a large enough campaign donation, he'd come on?
Yes. If we just harass him on Twitter, he'll either block us or come on the podcast.
Yeah.
I will consider both a win.
Just keep tweeting Yang Gang, and I'm sure he'll be like, I like these guys.
He'll just roll in on his skateboard dressed as like a goth boomer. There we go. All right, gamers, let's end up this. Let's wrap up this boomer cast.
Yep, sounds. Anyway, gents, I enjoyed this good old talk. Very enlightening.
Yes. Where can people find you on the internet, Cody Alternate History Hub?
I am glad you asked. You can watch my channel, Alternate History Hub, on the YouTubes. You better link it
Wow.
too. No,
Yes. Oh, we will.
no, just link to the wrong channel. It'll be great. Just put it to iDubbbz or some shit.
Non-alternate history hub.
Featuring iDubbbz. Yeah.
On the Ninja's channel.
Yeah, no, it was good chat. Definitely the best podcast I've ever done. Every podcast I've ever tried to, run, it just falls apart. So, good on you guys for having questions and running efficiently.
Thank you for showing up for the one time we did.
Well, you know what? Good impressions all around. So, yeah, that was good.
Nice.
All right, and if you'd like to follow the podcast that Alternate History Hub says is great, you can do so by following us on SoundCloud at Loudmouse, subscribing over here on YouTube at Loudmouse, following us on Twitter, Loudmouse_, which is not ran by me. I should clarify that we have a Loudmouse intern that runs the Loudmouse account, so if everybody could stop harassing me, that'd be great. Also,
Are you serious?
follow us on iTunes, Google Play,
Wasn't
anywhere
informed?
podcasts are sold. Goodbye.